This is interesting right here because reed valves always restrict the intake flow, but this may be compensated in part by taking advantage of their automatic inlet characteristics and carving a boost port in the rear cylinder wall while I go get my 9mm and take care of that fucking dog. Thank you. What? Bitch, you're mine. A rotary valve, which is real cool for go-karts. Here we talk about intake airflow as in roughness or in smoothness. Now, intake should be smooth. They say, well, maybe not. Airflow through ports should be largely undisturbed by surface roughness, uneven walls. And someone has said, well, if it's too smooth, then the gas forms droplets. And the point is, if you can pump more fuel through a given engine, air and fuel, you'll create more fucking horsepower. Amen. Sorry about my French. Then we have turbochargers, and God, look at that. They have a 780 Holly. Last time I saw one of those was in a museum. And trail bikes. And what is that? It's a Hadaka from 1972. Those are great bikes. You've got like 5 or 6 inches of travel and happy as hell. Cylinder scavenging. And we have Dr. Sherrill's loop scavenging system, almost uniformly adopted by makers of high output 2-strokes. This book shows you in simple terms how a 2-stroke works from way back when. And cylinder scavenging from stock exhaust ports with a width about 50% bore, maybe widened to 60 brute. Yes, they may be widened, but you got to know what the fuck you're doing, because if you don't, your cylinder will be nothing but a 10-pound paperweight. Port edge chamfering, which is good, which means that if you take your knife edge ports all the way around here, and you are to make them a little less knife edge, then your piston rings will last longer. Flow patterns. I mean, this book covers everything, and it's really, really old, but it's just simple basics of how a 2-stroke works. Multiple transfer ports. RPM scavenging. I don't know what the hell that is. This is generally our ports. Increased angle A, increased angle B, scavenging. Yeah, okay, that's nice. Great. Triple boost ports. This is a promising approach. It didn't work, but what it meant was basically the same thing as far as putting more fuel through the engine at any given time will create more horsepower. Oh, Holley carburetors. Oh my God, Holleys. These were the total shit in 1978. That's a 780 or could be 1150 double pumper. They didn't have fuel injection, and Holleys were the best of the best. That carburetor at the time probably cost $175. Then I had a hot rod small block Chevys. And notice there's no fuel injection, or they just have headers and, well, that's a whole different thing. Blueprinting, everything else, carburation, ignition, the basic carburetor. We talk about how air fuel works. I mean, it's all very, 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 very simple. I don't know if this manual is in different languages, but I mean, this thing is from 1973. Would be about, this book itself would be 44 years old. Well, we get a jetting and other things, carburation, ignition, bore, throttle, ignition fundamentals. Everything that is covered in the basics before any computers were developed. Spark plugs, how the spark plugs work, hot or cold. And as I was saying to Frankie, is it make sure that your spark plug only goes right here to the edge of the expansion chamber, even if it's hot or cold. If you go in 1/4 of an inch and you got the wrong plug with a long reach, okay, it will go, it will foul every time. Anyway, I hope you've learned something.